How's it going, everybody? In this video, I want to give you an update on the Franklin Armory Title I and the recent filing of a class action lawsuit on behalf of California gun owners. So let's talk about this. But real quick, before you jump into this video, if you think the state of California needs to stop infringing on our Second Amendment rights, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. I also want to give a shout out to one of the main supporters of the channel, which is USCCA. Through your membership, you get training, education, and self-defense liability protection. So if you carry a firearm, I highly recommend you take a look into USCCA, and I'll put a link to them down in the details section. Also, I want to let you know that this content is powered by the Firearms Policy Coalition. So head on over to joinfpc.org to help support the Second Amendment cause. Thank you again, Firearms Policy Coalition, for supporting this channel. So like I mentioned in the intro, Franklin Armory has now filed another lawsuit against the California Department of Justice in relation to this whole situation revolving around the Franklin Armory Title I. This lawsuit directly bears on all of us in California who attempted to purchase a Title I from Franklin Armory, and also those of us who put down a deposit for the purchase of one of those firearms. This lawsuit is the class action lawsuit many of us in California have been waiting to hear about. Now, some quick background on this whole case and what's going on if you're not familiar. Franklin Armory is a manufacturer in Nevada and makes California compliant firearms. They produce firearms like the CA7, the CA9, the CA11, which are AR pistols which can be found on the California handgun roster. They also created the Title I, which is an other firearm that did not meet California's definition of a so-called assault weapon. The state of California, with various laws like Penal Code 30515, classifies categories of firearms with various characteristics as so-called assault weapons and therefore bans their possession. So for example, a semi-automatic centerfire rifle with a detachable magazine and any offending features like a pistol grip or a flash hider are deemed to be so-called assault weapons in the state of California, and therefore your possession and use of them is banned unless you had prior registered them with the state of California. Now in other, or the Franklin Armory Title I, did not meet the definition of what California or the federal government considered to be a rifle, pistol, or shotgun. Instead, it was classified as an other. The Franklin Armory Title I also did not violate California's ban on so-called assault weapons because the weapon did not fall under any of the banned categories since it was not a rifle, pistol, or shotgun. Therefore, because of this, because it did not fall under any of those definitions of being a rifle, pistol, or shotgun, or a so-called assault weapon in the state of California, it was therefore legal for California gun owners to possess and have. Well, California, of course, did not like people being in possession of these other firearms, so they amended the penal code through passing SB 118. That amendment included others into the definition of what California now considers to be so-called assault weapons. So they found that this kind of loophole, this language loophole was being used, and then they passed a new bill to amend 30515 to include others and therefore ban the possession of those as well unless they are registered with the state of California. Now there was another issue with all this. Even before passing SB 118, the state of California actually blocked Franklin Armory from selling the Title I to California gun owners who wanted to legally purchase them. The DOJ continually failed to add the other firearm as a DROS drop-down option. Because essentially in the state of California, every time you purchase a firearm, you have to run a background check, and then the system has to mark that firearm purchase as something. It has to mark it as a rifle, pistol, shotgun, receiver, or revolver, or in this case, an other, but they would not add that other option. So the last updates I brought you in relation to Franklin Armory and some lawsuits were in regard to Franklin Armory's personal lawsuit against the state of California and the state DOJ. That case survived a demurrer and is moving forward towards trial. But again, that's Franklin Armory's personal lawsuit against the state of California. And also subsequently, some news that happened is that all of a sudden now, after passing SB 118 and after these lawsuits being filed against the state of California, the DOJ all of a sudden is now adding in that other option into the drop-down menu, but it's way too little too late because no one can even purchase these now because they're deemed to be assault weapons. Well, now Franklin Armory has officially filed a class action lawsuit against the DOJ on behalf of us gun owners who sought to purchase the firearms prior to this whole SB 118 issue and prior to the state of California doing all these other actions to prevent us from possessing them. This case is titled Brasino v. Bonta. And there's also some emails that went out, and I received an email personally as well because I was one of those individuals who also put in a deposit to try to purchase a Franklin Armory Title I and to get in on the class action lawsuit. So if you did that as well, you might have received this email as well, but I'm just gonna read to you real quick the email that Franklin Armory sent out in relation to the filing of this lawsuit. It states, "Dear Anthony, we are writing to inform you that a class action lawsuit against the California Department of Justice was filed in federal court today. The class action, to which you may be an unnamed party because you made a deposit for the purchase of one or more centerfire Franklin Armory Title I firearms before August 6, 2020, challenges the DOJ's unlawful ban on the transfer of your Franklin Armory Title I firearms to you. This email is simply to give you an update on the case. There is nothing to sign, no fees or costs involved, and nothing we need from you. The complaint alleges that defendants violated the rights of Franklin Armory's intended customers under the 2nd and 14th Amendments, and it seeks a judgment declaring that DOJ's conduct was unconstitutional and ordering defendants to allow you to finalize the lawful transfer of your Title I firearm if you still wish to do so, and to register it as required by Senate Bill 118. This relief, if we obtain it, however, is potentially years down the road. You might have heard that through a related lawsuit brought on behalf of Franklin Armory and CRPA, our law firm successfully prompted the DOJ to correct the DES to allow for the processing and transfer of long guns that are not considered rifles or shotguns, as those terms are defined by the state law. In short, after over a year and a half of denying in court that they had a duty to update the DES to facilitate the transfer of these lawful firearms, the DOJ updated the DES to facilitate the transfer of these lawful firearms. Unfortunately, that change went live on October 1st of 2021 and does not affect your ability to transfer centerfire Title I firearms, which are now assault weapons under state law and cannot be possessed unless they were possessed before September 1st, 2020 and registered by January 1st of 2022. However, the DOJ's voluntary change to the DES will, we think, prove useful to us in litigating the class action and achieving the goal of having your Title I firearms lawfully transferred to you. So that's the email that went out in relation to Franklin Armory filing this class action lawsuit. So the class action lawsuit has been filed on behalf of everyone who attempted to purchase the Title I from Franklin Armory, but was prevented from doing so because the DOJ's actions, and simply they just could never be transferred to us. One thing I want to clarify with this lawsuit, however, is that the relief being sought by Franklin Armory is to be able to transfer the Title I's to us, but under SB 118 in this new law, if that does happen, we will still have to register them with the state of California as so-called assault weapons. This case was never about trying to get rid of an assault weapons ban or changing those rules in the state of California. Instead, this case is kind of more geared towards the misconduct of the state of California in preventing those transfers. Challenges to the actual assault weapons language in the state of California are happening through cases like Miller and Rupp, which specifically target those issues. Also, I think it's important to note that if Franklin Armory does win this case, it doesn't appear that they're going to mandate you actually have to purchase a Title I from them. You won't have to do that, but you will have the option if you actually put in a deposit. So that's where this class action lawsuit currently stands. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section. I'll try to answer the best of my ability. Also, if you like this video and support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help to fuel the algorithm or fuel Algore's rhythm. It adds fuel to his jet and it signals to YouTube that you guys see value in these videos and in this type of 2A news. So thank you so much to everybody who's liked, commented, subscribed, who's hit the notification bell. You guys are directly impacting these videos, impacting this channel, helping it to reach more people than I could have ever thought. And you guys have shown me more support than I would have ever dreamed of. I never would have thought I would have reached 200,000 subscribers. That was kind of a lofty goal I had for the end of the year, and you guys helped me crush that. So thank you so much for all the support. I hope everybody has an amazing Thanksgiving. And also, if you don't have a comment in mind, just comment down below that your comment fueled the algorithm. And also, if you're a new subscriber, make sure you comment down below that you're a new subscriber, and I will make sure I comment back to you. So as always, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget, this is with Built by Arm Scholars and stationally maintained by Arm Scholars.